Today, November the 4th, 2025, the show, Sports Counterpoints Podcast. The guys, GB, Brian, and Coop. What's going on?
What's going on? Live from Las
Wow.
Vegas.
How
Yeah.
come y'all got shirts on? I got a hoodie. I might need to change up so I can have a shirt on, but
Oh
I
man,
just
I'll say
noticed
it's
that.
yeah, it's warm in here. So, but it's
Oh,
starting to be
good.
winter time. Reporting live from Northern California. Me and Coop in South Central Hayward. I'm on the east side of San Jose. B out in Vegas. So we're getting to it. Talking about some trades today that happened in the FL. Talking about the World Series, which the Dodgers, Coop is representing right now, just won. So we'll talk about that. We got basketball and other things going on, but we'll be talking about those a little bit more as the season progresses. So kind of starting out, question for you both, man. We had the trades, and if there's always a few impactful trades in the NFL at deadline. But I wanted to know what was the most impactful trade for you for your specific team, like something that you remember or think of that when your team is involved. We're talking football, a trade that you know was great, you really were excited about, and it worked out, or one that you were just like, what are we doing?
I guess I'll go first.
First.
I'll go first,
All
I
right.
guess. The one that was impactful to me, I'll never forget, was getting Deion Sanders for the 49ers.
Oh yeah.
The 49ers were a good team before Deion, but Deion gave the 49ers that extra motivational drive, that attitude, and that swagger that the team needed because the 49ers at that time was more of a business as usual environment, and Deion kind of got
Yep.
things spiced up within the 49ers facility, to make guys, I guess, have extra motivation or make coming to work, I guess, fun again, if you want to say that. I remember they didn't start so well. The team started 1-2, and then after that, they never lost a game the rest of the season, and that was the only year Steve Young got the Super Bowl. My honorable mention, impactful trade, was getting Christian McCaffrey, and the reason why that was
Mm,
important is because it kept the 49ers Super Bowl window open. But Dion is number one because the 49ers actually won the Super Bowl when they got him, and the 49ers haven't won the Super Bowl, but Christian McCaffrey got there but didn't win. So I would say
so
those are the most impactful trades.
it's a good one. All mine are negative, bro. Like what I think of is I mean, it was dope getting Jerry Rice. That was fire. But I think Jerry might have been a free agent at the time. But Khalil Mack, when he got traded, I remember that day. Like where I was at, started seeing the texts, instantly started texting all the homies I played Madden with. Like, well, there goes that. And then, we traded Gruden away, which, whatever to be said about Gruden, face him the next year in the Super Bowl and lose. So like all of those trades, traded Amari, trade all these guys who were, especially those last recent.
Vontae Adams.
Devontae, that's a
Mm.
good one. It didn't turn out how I'd hoped, but you're right. I was extremely excited when that happened. I never thought it was even a possibility for us to get a star like that. So I remember we were all at Brian's. I think it was March Madness, and man,
Yeah,
I
it
like
was there.
dove in the pool. Man, I was, oh man, super excited.
You had your happy dance on for a minute.
Yeah, that was fun.
That
That was a
trade.
good one,
Yeah.
B. That was a good one. So yeah, those are mine. B.
Yeah, for me, I mean, most certainly, I don't know, certainly the impactful, certainly in a negative way, was the Minnesota Vikings Herschel Walker trade to the Dallas Cowboys. So the Minnesota Vikings got Herschel Walker, a Dallas third round pick, a Dallas 10th round pick, another Dallas third round pick years later. They gave up for Herschel Walker two linebackers, both of which were starting. A cornerback also, I believe, was starting. A defensive end, I'm not sure, was starting. And then a first round pick in 1990, a second round pick in 1990, a sixth round pick in 1990, a first round pick in 1991, a second round pick in
It's crazy.
1991, a first round pick in 1992, a second round pick in 1992, and a third round pick in 1992. And all of that to get Herschel Walker, who did a whole lot of nothing
It's crazy.
before becoming one of the worst political candidates of all time. So there's not much positive to look at when you think about that Herschel Walker trade for the Vikings, but it was certainly the most impactful because they basically did the equivalent of the death penalty in sports to themselves.
Mm,
It was years before the Vikings were able to recover from giving up that many first round,
that's
second
crazy.
round, third round picks, all in consecutive years. Uh, it was brutal.
They said
I think
that
another
like sprung the Cowboys dynasty. They said because they got hella
right,
players.
right, and the
Oh
reason
yeah,
why that's impactful, as Brian said, is because remember Jimmy Johnson was just in college not too long ago, so he knew these players. So these picks that they got from Minnesota, he was using on players that he already looked at in college and wanted on his team. So that's
Well,
really what started their dynasty
you
because
know
it
who
was
the
like
number
when Pete
one
Carroll
pick
left.
for the you know who the number one pick for the 1990 draft was for Dallas with that pick
Was it Russell Maryland or something?
Emmett Smith.
Correct me?
Yeah,
Emmett Smith. Emmett Smith.
No,
Okay, from
with Emmett
Florida.
Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But Dallas also took Russell Maryland with a first round pick the following
Yeah.
year.
Okay. Following it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they hit on the picks too, because
uh,
getting picks, we've gotten picks before and
Well,
we ain't hit on Jack, so you
well,
got to
no,
hit on the
but it was
picks.
like, when Pete Carroll just left USC and went to Seattle. He already knew Earl Thomas and all these players from college. So his drafts he was nailing when he first got there because he knew those players from college. So it's an advantage.
New
But
York.
I definitely remember that yeah,
And
that
then
trade. I remember
Coop, you had a question too.
that. Oh yeah, my question was because of all these NFL trades that happened today, I guess yesterday or whatever. I was thinking, what is the most underrated trade over the last few years in your mind that actually really helped the team? And I thought about this because I was watching Seattle beat the hell out of the Washington team on Monday Night Football, and the Seattle Seahawks trading Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos is an underrated trade. I don't think anybody's talking about that actually
Hmm.
helped the Seattle team get to where it is now. Remember, they traded him for two ones, two twos, a fifth, and three players. Okay, so they got all
That's
that in return. And I was thinking to myself because this was the point where I still thought Russell Wilson was, he wasn't the same player, but still
yeah.
kind of good. So I'm thinking, oh, somebody's gonna get fired if this trade doesn't work out, and somebody did get fired. Everybody in Denver, they all got fired after this happened. And Seattle, and not only did they just get the players and the picks, but they got the salary cap relief, and that's how they were able to sign other people because they didn't have to worry about paying Russell Wilson anymore. And this is the reason why Seattle is as good as a team as they have now and have a roster they have is because of that Russell Wilson trade. And that's what got me thinking about that. And so that's why I asked you guys if there was any underrated trade that's helped the team that nobody really talks about.
Hmm. I can't. I don't got one off the top of my head.
underrated is yeah. Um, I I guess from an impact perspective, it's not talked about because people just naturally assume that this is the
Mhm.
case. But Marshawn Lynch used to be a Buffalo Bill and ended up on the Seattle
Oh,
Seahawks.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
that trade isn't
Yep.
talked about as a trade, but everyone just always assumes that Marshawn Lynch was on the Seahawks. But
Mhm.
ultimately, that led to their Super Bowl and Super Bowl opportunities. Marshawn Lynch is if you think of Marshawn Lynch, you think of him as a Seahawk. You
Yep.
Yep.
forget that he was a Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. Drafted by the
Yeah.
Bills. Yeah. Good point. Um, I don't really got one on top of my. I know there's a million because we do this all the time, but um, nothing that's really like top of the mind right now. So let's if I think about it, I'll add it to the show. But let's keep
Yeah.
rolling. Let's talk some football and we'll talk Dodgers at the end. So starting with the scores from this last week. Ravens beat the Vikings. Ravens beat the Dolphins. I'm sorry, 28-6. Lamar's back, threw a bunch of touchdowns. Dolphins are still weak.
Yeah. I don't know if y'all watched this game, but Miami actually played well in the second. In the first half, they just shot themselves in the foot, but they just can't make mistakes. And Baltimore didn't look great, but they did look good. And Lamar looks like he's back on his game. That's going to be Brian's problem next week. I know we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, it was nice. It's always nice to see, Lamar, who I obviously really like, have a get right game and get back into the swing of things. The Ravens looked like they were a team of last year. Henry did 120 yards. Lamar Jackson had 204 yards. But most importantly, Lamar Jackson threw a lot of passes in this game that needed to be accurate, and they were. 204 yards, 4 touchdowns, 143.2 quarterback rating is certainly not someone getting the rust off of himself. That is someone who's playing at their most efficient.
Word. 49ers Giants is the next game. 49ers win 34-24.
I'll be quick. Look, the 49ers really have no business being 6-3. The Giants actually have better overall talent on the field than the 49ers, but Shanahan is just a better coach than Brian Daboll, and that's why the 49ers won. The 49ers offense is only Christian McCaffrey and hoping else somebody else steps up. That's pretty much the offense. But it wouldn't be a giant 49ers game without a major injury. And our first round pick, starting defensive end Michael Williams, is out with a torn ACL injury, gone for the year. He's a big reason why the 49ers defense went from 29th last year to 6th, and now he's gone. So
Damn.
that's what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yup.
I see this a little bit differently
Jesus.
because I think San Francisco by far had the most talent on the field. That's not to say that if you were looking at rosters, that didn't have any injuries, it might not be different. But remember, Cam's gone, Neighbors is gone. I mean, they have a lot of young talent on that team, but when you take the two of the three cogs, the third one being Jackson Dart away, the fact that the Giants were scrambled to score 24 points is kind of a little bit baffling to me. The 49ers have been able to outperform their roster as of right now because they've had some injuries and whatnot, but not as impactful injuries, and they're deeper than the Giants. So I feel like the Giants never really had a chance.
That's all right. Chargers beat the Titans 27-20. Brian and I were at the game in Vegas, so I didn't watch any of these. So I watched
Okay.
minutes of most of these games. That's kind
I'm
of the
not
score I'd
gonna talk about
expect.
that one.
Vikings, Lions. Vikings win 27-24.
So y'all didn't watch this
Yeah,
game?
I saw parts of it
I
from
I
the
I
casino.
followed it on my phone and like
Okay.
on a play by play. I mean, how happy can I possibly express that I am to see them get this win? Two, it's in Detroit where they haven't won in the last four outings. Three, JJ McCarthy came back, and oddly enough, his first game, which was against the Bears, he had the exact same stat line as he did today. And I do mean exact. I mean exact. 14 for 25, 143, two touchdowns, one interception, one run in for a touchdown. All of those things happened exactly on week one when he started his career,
Interesting.
and exactly this week when he continued his career after a long absence. But it was nice to see JJ throws some decent passes to the right place. It's
Yeah.
obvious that the offense is going to have to be more focused on balance with JJ McCarthy, which is not what KOC has wanted to do in the past. He's wanted to chuck it a lot, but 143 yards is a big drop off from a balanced perspective of passes versus rushes. We'll have to see what's going to happen these next few weeks. Jason already foreshadowed it's going to be a couple. We're still going through what I think is the hardest 9 to 10 weeks in NFL history from a schedule perspective.
Yeah, it was a big win for Minnesota. JJ actually did make some nice throws in this game, especially the one touchdown pass to JJ. I mean, not JJ, Justin Jefferson. Detroit couldn't run the ball. When Detroit can't run, Goff looks like he did when Jeff Fisher was the coach of the Rams. He's ineffective.
Wow.
Brian Flores changed up his game plan too. They sacked Goff 5 times, hit him 11 times, and Minnesota also had 10 tackles for a loss. So good damn job by Minnesota's defense. When Detroit's 5-0, when they rushed for 100 yards or more, they couldn't get the running game going, and Minnesota just did what they did. Good,
See?
big win for him. Big win.
Yeah, was it? Uh, Falcons lose to the Patriots 23-24.
I take it y'all didn't look at that game.
No, Patriots lost to the Patriots beat the Falcons.
Yeah, excuse me. That's what I was looking at. Yeah, Patriots beat Falcons 24-23. No,
Yeah.
we didn't see anything.
Atlanta could have won that game. Drake made the interception. Atlanta had a fumble. But Penix, even though he had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, they were 1 for 10 on third down, and they just couldn't get the win, and they ended up losing.
The only thing that was striking to me is that's a second game in a row that Bijan's underperformed.
Mm,
And
they lost.
yeah, another thing, that offensive line, Drake May's actually been sacked 12 times over the last 2 games, so that offensive line ain't good. But that's all I have
That's
on the
tough.
game.
Yeah, this next game was interesting because Coop was telling me about a Tomlin spot from
Yeah, it's a
gamblers,
Tomlin spot.
and
Yes.
with Mike
Yep.
Tomlin having these kind of games, he's not supposed to win, underdog, whatever. He wins these games, and he did again. Steelers win 27-20 versus the Colts.
Yeah, Tomlin's a home underdog. He's usually money. Brian, you want to talk about this game?
No, I didn't get a chance to see it, so
Oh, this is an early game.
I
Okay.
can't say
Okay.
much.
Okay, yeah. Tomlin's spot finally came through, but in this game though, Indianapolis was up 7-0. The turning point in this game was when they were driving. Indianapolis was driving to make it 14-0. TJ Watt finally earned his paycheck. He caused a fumble, and that's what turned the game around. And then
Mm,
Pittsburgh's defense, they were just Indiana. The reason why Indianapolis has been winning because Jonathan Taylor, but also because the offensive line has been dominating, and
mhm.
they got pushed around by Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got 5 sacks on them. And Daniel Jones is ineffective because the running game couldn't get going, the offensive line couldn't block, and so they pretty much neutralized Daniel Jones. And I just noticed when watching Pittsburgh play, they can't run the ball. They only had 38 yards rushing, under 2 yards per carry. This team is going to go how far Aaron Rodgers takes them, and they came through. This was a big win for Pittsburgh because if they would have lost this game, it just would have been all hell. So good win for Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. The Broncos win again. Somehow, man, they forgot how to pull the game out at the end. Beat the Texans 18-15.
Uh, I know you guys didn't watch. CJ Stroud got it was in concussion protocol. So Davis Mills, who I didn't know was
Oh,
still in the
that's
damn
tough.
NFL,
Yeah.
played the last 3 quarters and he did nothing because that's what his talent warrants. Nothing. And they pretty
Yeah.
much wasted an effort, a defensive effort by the Texans, and they let Denver off the hook, like Denny Green would say. And
Yep.
so Denver won.
Barely. Bears Bengals, man. Bears put up 47 and the Bengals put up
Game of the
42.
day. Game
Jeez.
of the day. Look, last week, I told you the Bengals defense gave up 260 yards rushing to the Jets. They gave up 283 yards rushing to the Bears, and DeAndre Swift did not play. So they gave up 176 yards to a guy whose last name I can't pronounce, but his first name is Kyle. Uh, Cincinnati just became the first team since 1996 to lose back-to-back games after scoring at least 38 points in each game.
Yeah.
But the Bears, the difference in this game is the Bears. The Bears are winning these ugly and weird games, whereas last year they lost all these games. They beat the Raiders off a blocked field goal. They beat Washington off a Jaden Daniels fumble, and they scored a
Yep.
late 58-yard touchdown to beat Cincinnati. So Cincinnati's a bad team. Everybody should take advantage of it. But when you're a team like the Bears, you just want to see some progress. So it was a good win for them.
Yeah, two things I'll point out. Anyone who wants to say anything bad about Joe Flacco and how he's performing just needs to be quiet after this game. 470 yards and 4 touchdowns. It's just that's 2 weeks in a row that he's gotten them above 30 to 38 points. You cannot do more than put nearly 40 points up on the board. If you lose a game where you put up nearly 40 points on the board, it is not the offense's or your fault. It is absolutely on the defense. The other thing worth mentioning was Kyle Monangai's
That's it. Yeah.
176 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. Obviously, it came against a very bad Bengals team, but running 176 yards in any football game against any defense is
That's
impressive.
serious. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
real
serious.
talk, real talk. And I don't know if you guys saw those post game interviews with Jabbar Chase and the other guy, but they were pretty much trying to egg them on like you guys are losing because of what? And everybody knows because their damn defense. It's terrible. So the offensive guys are doing what they have to do, and Joe Flacco is turning back the clock. So definitely.
Tough. Panthers beat the Packers, man. Packers on a little bit of a slide. Panthers win 16-13, and I saw that Tucker Kraft had a major injury, unfortunately, and he's going to be
Very
gone for the
serious injury.
Packers. Yeah.
Yeah. But before I hoorah Green Bay, I'm gonna let Brian on this because I know he's happy Green Bay lost.
Very happy. As a matter of fact, it couldn't have the whole way this worked out
Yeah.
pretty much went as well as it could have, except for the Bears getting the
Bears.
win.
Yeah.
But us
Yeah.
beating Detroit is basically like a two-game move, and then the Packers losing. Packers still maintain first place, not because they have the more wins, but because they have a tie. So they're only 2-1, while Detroit is 5-3 and Chicago is 5-3. But it's going to be a very, very tight race. At the beginning of the year, we talked a little bit about maybe possibly having 2 or 3 of these teams in the playoffs. I think those days are well behind them, all of them. But I do think you can have more than one team make the playoffs here if teams play well down the stretch.
Yeah, look,
Definitely.
for Carolina, Bryce Young did not play well. He was missing wide open receivers all game. He was only 11 for 20 for 102 yards and one
Damn.
terrible
Still
interception in
won.
the back of the end zone.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Bay, they had the ball 8 times. They did not punt the entire game and
Wow,
still lost this game.
that's crazy.
Green Bay has now lost to Cleveland, Carolina, and they tied with Dallas. So I don't want to hear anybody tell me how great Jordan Love is and how this is a Super Bowl level team. I said it before. Jordan Love is hella inconsistent. He's the new Trevor Lawrence. I'm supposed to believe he's good, but he's really not good. And he had probably the worst fourth and eighth throw that he probably all season, probably the worst fourth down throw all season. It was a terrible, terrible interception. And Green Bay couldn't run the ball. If they can't run the ball, Jordan Love is not going to look good. And then for all you gamblers out there, whenever Jordan Love is a favorite of 7 points or more, he's 0-4. He does not win these games. But I'm just surprised they didn't punt and only scored 13 points. This
That's
game was
crazy.
lost
Yeah,
because of Jordan Love. He lost the game for us.
that's crazy. Saints and Rams. Saints lose 10-34 to the Rams. No real surprise there.
I didn't watch
Yeah, we
anything.
didn't see that.
It would be.
Yep. Jaguars, Raiders. Brian and I were at the game. Shout out to Mom and Sis. We were all at the game as well. My boy Aaron was there. Saw the homie JT. A few other people up there. What up? Fun game to be at. Raiders actually scored some points. Brock Bowers came back, had 3 TDs. Gino threw 4 of them. Threw 1 pick, I think, too, which was on brand. Um, yeah, it was back and forth, man. It was actually kind of exciting. Stuff was happening. There was a 68-yarder or something, field goal at halftime.
68-yarder by Jacksonville, breaking
Mhm.
the NFL record.
Yeah, we're always on the wrong side of these. So, and apparently we missed a extra point, the initial one, lose by 1. So, fun game to be at. I mean, Raiders lose again. You know, everybody's like, "Oh man, how are you, Sam?" Like, man, I don't care, bro. I was in there with family. I was feeling good. Had a couple drinks. Weather was perfect. Hey man, I can't control what the Raiders do. So, another L. B, what was your take on it?
Yeah, Gino's played pretty poorly of late, but 284 yards and 4 touchdowns is not bad. It's not great because of the interception, but it's pretty darn good. It's certainly serviceable. They got to figure out what they're doing with this run game. I honestly believe that Chip Kelly and the offensive line coordinator, which is Pete Carroll's son, need to go. They're both awful. But hats off to Brock Bowers for 127 yards on 12 receptions and 3 touchdowns. That's an impressive game. Doesn't matter where you are in your career.
Yeah, that first one he caught one-handed, falling back. That was pretty crazy. And yeah, it was fun. It was a fun day. Cool. Could you see it at all?
Yeah, I just took a few notes. The Raiders played really hard. I thought this was a game they had to win. They used the full OT clock. I felt like this was a game they had to win. I thought they were going to win actually, but they had a lot of pressure on Gino.
Close.
But I think one thing that's being forgotten in this game when Trayvon Walker left the game because he tried to punch the guy in the face. That's when the pass rush stopped against Gino, and then Gino was doing his
Mm.
thing. But also watching this game after this loss, to be perfectly honest with you, I was thinking it wouldn't surprise me if Pete Carroll actually got fired after the first year because he put his neck out for Gino. And it's just not working out. I know he had a good statistical game, but he's still throwing off his back foot. You can tell when he's throwing, he's only looking for Brock Byers. He's not really scanning the field for anybody
He
else.
put
And
up
Brock
30
Byers, of
points in
course,
a game, man. It
Yeah,
ain't on the offense.
he was initially, yeah. No, I don't.
he'll
I mean,
throw.
all I'll say is you can't keep firing coaches and expect for anything good to happen. So you got to let one ride it out eventually. And if you're gonna let someone ride it out, I mean, at least this is someone who's had some success at some point. But it's hard to. It takes time. It's just the end result. Very
You
rarely does a
can't
coach
file
come in
Chip
and start
Kelly, though.
winning. Yeah, that's different. That's different. But
Yeah,
we'll
I
see what
still think the
happens.
Raiders be in the market for a quarterback. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Well, that was always gonna be
Uh,
the case, right? This was never. And all these quarterbacks we've signed in the recent years, it was never like, oh, not one time has anyone said this is our long-term answer. Everybody's a holdover till you can find the guy. So they got to figure it out. But it was fun. It was a fun game to be at. I can't even lie. Like it was cool. Chiefs Bills. I didn't get to see this either. Chiefs lose. Bills win 28-21. Coop, you saw that?
the Buffalo. Okay, so Buffalo, if Buffalo plays like this, they will beat anybody. The problem is they don't play like this every game. For some
Yeah.
reason, they get up for Kansas City. The defense had hella energy. Josh Allen did his thing. I mean, they do their
Yeah.
thing in the regular season. They won the last 5 times in the regular season against Kansas City. The problem is they lose to teams like New England and Atlanta, but they'll play like this against Casey. The energy was just different. They even outgained KC by over 100 yards. It was ridiculous. They and also I noticed a theme when Kansas City loses, right? When the Raiders beat them and when they lost both Super Bowls, Mahomes is uncomfortable. When the offensive line
Yeah.
can't protect him and he gets hit, he presses and makes bad decisions. Mahomes was sacked 3 times. He was hit 15 times
Man,
in this game. I mean, they were getting to him. He's 1 in 3 whenever he gets hit 7 times or more. And when he's under duress, like I said, he'll make bad decisions.
it's
This year,
every
Kansas
quarterback.
City, but in this year, last year, Kansas City was 11-0 in one-score games. This year, they're 0-4, so they're not closing out games. And Buffalo, man, they they look like really a Super Bowl team. I still don't believe they're going to win the Super Bowl, or if they play in the
Yeah.
playoffs, they'll beat Kansas City because they never do. But in this game, man, Buffalo was just a different team, and they just took it to Kansas City.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean Buffalo's 4-1 against Kansas City in the regular season, and I think 0-3 in the postseason. Obviously these things you're supposed to play them now so you can figure out what to do later. Buffalo played a great game, or I should say a well strategized game, and came out with the win. But unless they can back this up with a win in the playoffs, obviously it's for naught.
Yep. Seahawks beat the Commanders 38-14, and we lose Jaden Daniels to an injury at the end of the game.
Y'all watch that?
I watched
Yeah.
portions of it and then the highlights actually with Glenn. I mean, I'm starting to get to the point of seller's remorse on Sam Darnold. He looked really great, 330 yards, 4 touchdowns. Obviously, Jaden Daniels getting hurt was a big impact to the actual result of the game, but that. I don't think the Washington Commanders would have won at full health and full strength. Darnold is doing some really amazing things over there, and it's hard to see him winning the MVP, but easy to understand why he's in the conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, look, last week I said Washington's pass defense is terrible. It's in the bottom 5, and this has to be a Sam Darnold game, and both didn't disappoint. The pass defense Washington is still bad. Sam Darnold, he had a night. I think also though a lot of credit should go to Seattle's defense. Third straight game they held an opponent under 20 points, and they're 4-0 on the road this year, and they've won their last 10 road games. So I mean, good job Seattle. Seeing Jay and Daniels get hurt, a lot of people gave me flack in April 2024 when I said Jaden Daniels, the way he plays and his body type doesn't last for a 12, 15-year career in the NFL. He's just going to get hurt. And I just hope we get a couple good seasons out of him. Look, he just got hurt again. He has his 4th injury now to his 4th different body part. I mean, I like to see good quarterbacks play, but he puts himself in compromising positions. A lot of people are saying, why was he in the game at that point in time when they're up
Yeah.
38-7 or whatever it was? And I just think the injuries he's had before, he still doesn't look smooth, and it's just not good. I think they should just shut him down. And I think what people aren't saying is the Washington team should be a rebuilding team. They're not a playoff level or a championship level team. They need players on their team because their defense is really slow. It's just not good. And
Yeah.
it's a good win for Seattle.
Last year definitely had people thinking that they could, do more to build, but you're probably right. They got to add some pieces. And then the Cowboys lose. Coop, I know you was loving that, except the Cardinals won. So it's probably bittersweet there.
But I
But
picked the Cardinals.
27-17 Cardinals.
Y'all watch it? Y'all can start it. Y'all watched it.
The only thing I would comment
Yeah.
is congratulations, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
When you're a backup quarterback, your job is to not lose games. In this case, he actually helped pretty significantly to win it with 261 and 2 touchdowns. They also had a backup running back, DeMarcado, who had 14 rushes for 79 yards. It's a good ball control when you can get 14 carries and get 79 yards and get almost 30 points. Hats off to them for what was a strong performance. I wouldn't say it's epic or anything else, but a strong performance.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead, Coop.
No, I'll say Dallas is the NFC version of the Cincinnati Bengals. If they only score 20 points, they're going to lose. Arizona has a better roster than Dallas. Jacoby Brissett, he's been doing his thing. Marvin Harrison had a career high 7 catches in the game. Never knew that was a career high. But
It's
I
only
think
1 year.
Jacoby Brissett, well, he played last year too.
Yes, I'm
But
saying it's only one year in the league.
if I'm Arizona, I'm starting Brissett the rest of the season. I wouldn't really touch Kyler Murray. I think they're actually going to cut him in March. But the biggest winner after this game, though, is really the Philadelphia Eagles because they should have this division wrapped up in mid-December. Giants are bad. Cowboys can't stop anybody, and Washington's free falling. So the biggest winner in this game is the Eagles. and they didn't play.
That's fair. Word. All right, so let's run it down for this week, and then we'll talk baseball. When we get to the Jets, we'll talk about the Jets trades because that's going to impact them for sure. Well, actually, as we run through this, we're going to talk about both teams that got traded. But anyway, Raiders, Broncos, Thursday night. Broncos are -9.5.
Who
In
you got?
Denver.
Broncos.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why both teams should not get the ball in overtime. It's why, because they're going to go on the road and the Raiders are going to get killed by Denver.
Wait,
Yeah.
what's that have to do with
Now,
overtime?
the Raiders
Because
have done
Oh,
things
because of the game. I
in
got you.
Broncos.
because the game, yeah, they played
Yeah.
overtime, then they're going on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that, B?
The team that
Anyways, Raiders are gonna lose.
All right. Atlanta Falcons at Indianapolis Colts. Colts are -6.5.
it's in Berlin, Germany. Who you got, B?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Colts. The
Yeah,
Falcons are just not playing very well right now.
these international games usually always go to the favorites, so I'll take the Colts.
So then we have the Browns at the Jets. The Browns are -2.5, and they will talk about the trade because the Colts and Jets we just talked about. So Cleveland Browns at New York Jets. Browns are -2.5.
I'm gonna
B?
take Browns just because they're the favorite, but also because the Jets got rid of anything resembling a defense. Yeah, this is just a horrible game that no one should
This
have
is
to watch
hard.
or should watch.
This is hard. Cleveland doesn't have an NFL quarterback on their roster. But the Jets are sellers, like you said. They just moved Quentin Williams, their best defensive lineman, and now their two starting corners, their best corners are gone. So I guess I'll take Cleveland.
Yeah. So speaking of that, Kenny and Williams goes to the Dallas Cowboys from the Jets, and Sauce Gardner goes to the Colts. What do you guys think about the trade? I think they both got back picks, but what do you think about
Yeah.
the trade? And what do you think the impact is?
Uh, well,
So I
Quentin
actually think
Williams,
the
I don't really
trade was
care.
good
Oh,
for the
go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
Jets. Yeah, I think the trade was actually good for the Jets because they're horrible, and they're not one off season away from winning. So they've now got a couple of extra first rounders and second rounders for the next 2 years. Whatever they do, that's fine. And I think Sauce Gardner and Quinn Williams are very good, but the Jets were nowhere near being able to capitalize off of them being on the team.
The Quentin Williams trade, I
Sure.
didn't really care about. The only trade I really cared about was the Sauce Gardner trade. It was the most surprising, not because the Jets traded him. I mean, if I'm the Jets, I would have traded him too. They got pretty much the same haul that Green Bay got for, I mean, that Dallas got for Micah Parsons. Sauce Gardner was good when Robert Saleh was there, but the Jets coaching staff is not good and pretty much don't know what they're doing, so they just got rid of him. But it surprised me for two reasons. Number one, when you trade two first round picks for a non quarterback, the history is just not good. I remember the Bears traded two first round picks for Khalil Mack when Mitch Trubisky was the quarterback, and that didn't work out. And then the Seahawks traded two first round picks to the Jets for Jamal Adams, a safety that can't cover. And that didn't work out. And that's the problem. When you trade two first round picks for a non quarterback, you think your quarterback position is in place. Daniel Jones is being propped up by the roster. He's not that good. So when the Colts schedule gets harder next year and Daniel Jones gets paid, this trade is not going to look good. So I was just so shocked that they are really they're putting unbelievable delusional faith in Daniel Jones when they make this trade. And that's what I got out of it. So to me, it's not going to work out. I understand why they did it. They're all in for this year, but long term, put your faith in Daniel Jones. I can't see it. I don't know why they did it. It's not going to work out. So
Yeah, with
it was
them.
just surprising.
Right game plan. You can do a lot. Jacksonville Jaguars at Houston Texans. Houston Texans are -1.5.
This is a weird line. I'll take the Jaguars.
Jaguars at Houston Texans. Oh yeah, well, wait. CJ Stroud's in concussion protocol. Yeah, let me take Jacksonville.
That's right. Buffalo Bills at Miami Dolphins. The Bills are -9.5.
Yeah,
Take
that's
Buffalo.
easy. Bills.
At Buffalo, yeah.
Yep. New England Patriots at Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By record, this is a pretty good game. Bucks are -2.5.
Well, people are saying that Baker could still be hurt and banged up, but I'll still take Todd Bowles over the
Yeah,
overachievers. So I got Tampa Bay.
I'm taking the Bucks too on that one.
I'll
Hey,
take the Patriots. I'll take Patriots.
Drake May's got some potential. You got some squad. We'll see. That could be a good game. New York Giants at Chicago Bears. Bears are minus 3.5.
This is tough. Brian?
I'll take the Bears. I wish I didn't think that they were going to win, but I just don't think the Giants have enough talent to do anything against anybody right now. It's not a knock on the players that they have. It's just all the right players are injured, and the Bears are moving in the right direction, unfortunately, at the right time. So I'll take the Bears.
That's tough.
The
Baltimore
Bears
Ravens.
have
Oh, my bad. My bad. Go
the,
ahead,
the,
Coop.
Bear,
I'm sorry.
the Bears have made mediocre quarterbacks look good. Their secondary is tied with the Raiders, giving up 71% completion percentage, tied for worst in the NFL. So I got
Thanks.
Jackson Dart. I got Jackson Dart running all over this defense. I'll take the Giants.
Thanks. Sorry about that.
No, you
Baltimore
good.
Ravens at Minnesota Vikings. The Ravens are minus 4.5.
Brian, what you got?
I got the Ravens. I mean, realistically, the Ravens are a better team with Lamar back. It's hard to see how the Vikings can keep up with them, given certainties. Now, I will put a upset alert on this because if JJ can play like he has played in the past, that would not be my opinion, which is why I picked the Ravens. But he could do more. 143 yards and two touchdowns and all the touchdowns is not enough to beat the Ravens. You need 250 plus to be a quarterback and beat a strong team there. Anyways, I take the Ravens. There is an upset alert in my mind that the Vikings could do something crazy, but I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, one reason Lamar does so well against NFC teams because NFC teams don't have the linebackers and personnel to stop Lamar once he gets out the pocket. Minnesota had a good bounce back win last week, but Baltimore is a different animal than a division opponent, so I'll take the Ravens.
Fair. New Orleans Saints at Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are minus 5.5.
The Saints
That's
have a
easy.
bottom. Yeah, who you got? Saints?
Yeah, Rico Dowdle and the Panthers for sure.
Oh yeah, the Saints have a bottom five rush defense, and I think we're all officially past the Saints are as bad as we think phase because they're 1-8. Rico Dallas should go crazy. I got Carolina.
Hmm. Arizona Cardinals at Seattle Seahawks. Your whole division plays each other. The Seahawks are minus 6.5.
They got a
Seahawks by
chance
a
to.
significant margin.
If Jacoby Brissett plays, they'll keep it close, but I'll take the road killers, Seattle. I think Seattle's on the road, right? Or Arizona. Which one is it, Grant?
Arizona's on the road.
Oh,
It's a
Arizona's on the road.
Seahawks
Okay, I'll
game.
take Seattle.
Yeah.
I'll take Seattle.
Detroit Lions at Washington Commanders. The Lions are minus 8.5.
Blowout.
Yeah,
They're going to take their frustrations out on Washington. Huh?
Talk to when Jaden Daniels is back. Until then, they're going to lose everything. Lines.
Yeah, the Lions, they're going to take their frustration out on Washington. And Bobby Wagner is going to have to cover Detroit's running backs coming out the backfield. That's not going to be good. So it's a blowout.
Yeah, that's tough. Los Angeles Rams at San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are minus 3.5.
Yeah, how are the 49ers going to play defense? I mean, the point spread is only 3. I don't get it. The 49ers have looked worse and lost more players. The Rams have looked better the last couple of weeks. I'll take the Rams because I can't see how the defense stops Matt Stafford, and I don't see how Christian McCaffrey is going to get yards. I'll take the Rams.
It's tough. B.
Same reasons. That's exactly what I think.
Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers at Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are minus 2.5.
Ryan, who you got?
It might be one of the better games this week.
Who you got?
Yes, it's a good
Oh,
matchup.
I'll take the Chargers.
Chargers are the better team,
Yeah,
better coach team, but they have to protect Justin Herbert. Their best offensive lineman is hurt. He's out for the season, Joe Alt, and now Bobby Hart is out. Makes me think that Herbert's going to be running for his life. But then on the flip side, Mike Tomlin has an under 500 record in the Pacific time zone. I'll take the Steelers.
Interesting. Last game, Philadelphia Eagles at Green Bay Packers Monday night. The Packers are minus 2.5.
Who you want to win or
I'll
who you
take
got to win, Brian?
I'll take the Eagles because I actually think Tucker Kraft getting hurt is more impactful than the spread apparently gives it credit for. So yeah, I'll take the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles because I think they're hitting their stride a little bit. They're kind of ascending a little bit. So I'm gonna take the Eagles.
Okay. So that's your football talk. Let's talk baseball. Coop, you got the Dodger hat on. Brian, you were actually at one of the games, man. Give us that experience, and Dodgers win the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, plenty have been talking has been said about this. There's been people who are saying that the entire playoffs has been one of the best ever. Then there was a lot of talk about this being one of the best World Series ever, and certainly the last two games were amongst the best in a World Series history. Uh, Yamamoto, sure, who was ultimately the MVP, was absolutely incredible. I mean, doing what he did on
Hmm.
back-to-back nights, coming there and just basically carrying the team that has a lot of pitching troubles and woes and injuries. Uh, was fun to watch. Now I went to what was that the fourth game when Otani was pitching. He did not play great, and they obviously didn't win. But being able to say that I was there in a game, one of the games, and they ultimately won is something I value forever. The fact that I got to do it with a couple of close friends, also outstanding, who are huge Dodger fans, also exciting. But this was just truly incredible. First back-to-back winner since 2020, sorry, since 2000. And Otani, even though he kind of got a little streaky towards the end, was incredible. Just an outstanding effort by every single player on the except for Bandon and Trinan.
Yeah, it was crazy. Coop, what'd you think?
Well, I remember we were at the San Jose State game watching it, man. It was the ninth inning and bottom of the ninth, and I think they were up 5-4, Toronto, or 4-3, something like that. And then the Dodgers' ninth hitter in the ninth inning hits a home, it's a game tying home run. I think it was the top of the ninth. And I think it was the top of the ninth. And then Toronto, I believe, I thought they had runners on the corners, or bases loaded or something with one
Bases loaded
out in
with
the bottom of
Kershaw.
the ninth.
Yep,
Yes, the bottom of the ninth, and they got out that inning, man. And that was, and when that happened, I was like, the Dodgers are going to win this one, man, because
it
you
was
got to
crazy.
cash in when you got that opportunity. But, wish we could have watched it, but we had a great time at San Jose State football game. But good win for the Dodgers, good World Series.
Yeah, it was fun. I was like B was saying, I actually got to be in both stadiums in the last year, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I was out in Toronto last summer, and then I was at a Dodger game with Brian and the guys last month, 2 months ago, something like that. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Dodgers did their thing, man. That roster's loaded. They got the players. They did their thing. Toronto did too. That ball getting stuck under the outfield wall was really
Hmm.
interesting. Never seen that again. Don't Never seen it before. Don't know if we ever see that again. That was crazy. And there's just some moments in this series, man. It was fun to watch. So good win for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Cool. That's our show, guys. Let's do our last few segments, starting with what is hella hogwash right now. This is B segment. He started once, said something was hogwash. We've laughed, and we made it a weekly segment since. B, what do you got right now that's hogwash?
We don't have much
Oh, we're kind
but
of losing you.
Yeah, I think you sound like a robot
these
right now.
efforts that
Talk
some of these
again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say it again.
go for it.
Yeah, try it again.
Oh, I was going to say Jason go first. Uh, but there's I don't have much right now. What I will say is some of the efforts that these NFL teams are making is a little disappointing. You know, this is a season that's up for grabs, and watch teams that are kind of middle of the pack performers not do anything to make themselves better in a season where there really isn't a clear favorite is
Yep.
is a little bit of hogwash. I just feel like they should be trying a little harder to get to the right place.
I would love it if it was my team. Let me give you that. Cool.
Sometimes people ask me how come I have a strong opinion on or conviction on a quarterback when they're drafted, and I say it's because I watched them in college and I've seen enough or something of them where I kind of know where they are, and that leads me to Carson Beck. I wasn't a fan of him coming to the Miami Hurricanes. Miami can't recruit quarterbacks, so they have to go to transfer portal. This guy, the last he threw 6 interceptions the last 2 weeks, and if I was an NFL GM, I would not draft this guy. He threw 4 interceptions 2 weeks ago against Louisville, and he blamed his wide receiver for running the wrong route. And then he had a couple more interceptions on Saturday against SMU, and he threw his offense coordinator under the bus. He's just an overrated quarterback making $6 million right now in college. And the first thing he does after a loss is just blame other people. So he is hog wash. He's not that good, and he's just throwing teammates and coaches under the bus. And that's not what a franchise quarterback would do.
Fair. Give mine to staying with the Raiders, man. Just the culture in the stadium. It's sad. It's just a place to watch a game. There's really no, we don't really create much of a home field advantage. It was loud in spots, but I'm hoping over time that something develops out there. But right now, it's just a place to watch a game. Um, Game ball. This is something Coop came up with. He gave a game ball for some exemplary performance in sports. Coop, what you got?
Mine's going to Arizona State head coach Kenny Dillingham. People were talking about when Brian Kelly got fired that he didn't know the name of his players at LSU. Well, when Herm Edwards was at Arizona State, he didn't know the names of most of the players on his damn team. It was a complete joke of a program. Kenny comes in, and last year Arizona State made the college football playoff. On Saturday, he just beat Matt Campbell, who's a top candidate for a lot of high-profile coaching jobs, and he beat him without his starting quarterback and best NFL prospect at wide receiver. He won with a backup quarterback who we found out a couple weeks ago can't throw. So he redesigned the offense, and his backup quarterback ran for 220 yards, and they won. They also beat Texas Tech in their $28 million roster. So if a college team is in need of a coach, I would call this guy. Arizona State's head coach Kenny Dillingham is doing a fantastic job at Arizona State. So he gets my game ball, and my backup game ball goes to the Carolina defense against Green Bay. They only gave up 13 points that game, mostly because of Green Bay's doing, but Carolina's defense, which hasn't been good for a while, played well in that game.
Nice. Mine's to Brock Bowers, 3 touchdowns in his return, and we got to see them all. That was cool. B?
Sam Darnold in 4 touchdowns and yet another week, moving him closer to real contention and conversation about a MVP award. It's hard to watch because he was there on our team last year, but at the same time, he's playing outstanding football in an organization that it's hard to stand out as a quarterback because they don't have a ton of talent. Remember that they got D. So, this is impressive stuff that he's doing. I give him my game ball.
Cool. Minute to win it. It's our last segment. Appreciate you guys as always. Mine is just, everybody take care of yourself. Much love. Thanks for listening. Cool.
Mine's going to be on what people or media think are rivalries. I heard people talking about this rivalry between Kansas City and Buffalo, and it's not a rivalry because the Chiefs are 4-0 against the Bills in the playoffs. The other team has to win a meaningful game for it to be a rivalry. Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning was always one-sided until Peyton Manning finally beat him in 2006. Yankees, Red Sox, Tiger Field. Tiger Field was never a rivalry. Tiger always beat Field when it really mattered. Basketball, They always talk about the Knicks, the Jordan Bulls and the Knicks. That was never a rivalry. The Knicks never beat Jordan. Or Reggie Miller and the Bulls. I know Reggie Miller likes to talk about the reason why he don't have rings is because it was Michael Jordan. Well, he only played Michael Jordan once in the playoffs. So I don't understand why he blames him for why him not having no rings, but it was never a rivalry because he never beat him in the playoffs. So people like to pump up these rivalries. They're not really rivalries if they're one-sided.
There. B, bring us home, man.
The only thing I would say is congratulations to the Democrats in what was basically a clean sweep of all of the major elections that were going on today, the voting that was going on today, including 50 in California, and Zoran in New York, but basically a clean sweep for the Democrats. Hopefully this sends a message to the White House that they have to stop being insane. In other news, I'm also very sad to be able to say that there was recently a UPS plane crash near the Louisville airport that killed 7 and 11 injured. My heart goes out to them, those people and their families.
Definitely.
That's crazy. That's where UPS headquarters is too. That's crazy. I've been there. It's a huge complex.
And prayers up. Y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you next time.